Hey guys, my name's Travis Martinez. I just want to thank you ahead of time for your interest in the possible consulting. So I prepared this quick little presentation here to kind of give you the rundown, and if by the end of it you're still interested, please feel free to reach out and see if we're a good fit for each other. Okay, so by moving forward, what I'm about to do is teach you how to build a profitable and sustainable Amazon business by doing the opposite of what all of the gurus are teaching you out there, and without having to risk or losing a whole lot of upfront investment like they're also teaching. What we'll be covering in this presentation is one, why ignoring the typical road to Amazon riches will put you on the best path to a successful business. Secondly, how to know whether your products will be profitable before sourcing the item, and how to increase your chances of success while spending less on inventory. Third, we will be learning why you should steer clear from giveaways and other expensive launch tactics when building your business. You know, a lot of these guys teach you to expect to lose a couple $1,000s up front just to get your product ranked or to get to a position where you're selling any of it. Fourth, I will be showing you why you should look elsewhere than China when you're sourcing your products in 2018 now. You know, the China ship has kind of sailed and it's just super saturated nowadays. So why should you listen to me? I have been selling on Amazon for over 4 years now, consistently and successfully. I've never had an account shut down. I've never failed on an account permanently. There are products that have sold slower or cheaper than we've wanted them to, but we've never actually been completely out on an order. Over the course of those 4 years, I've personally launched more than 87 products that have grossed more than $2.5 million. I have started more than 13 Amazon seller accounts for both my partners and my consultant clients. And like I mentioned before, not one of them has ever permanently failed. Don't get me wrong, there have been problems and hiccups and speed bumps, but we've been able to figure out ways of overcoming them and staying resilient, you know. Lastly, consider that I'm kind of looking left when everybody else is looking right at this specific time. You know, like I mentioned in the first slide, I don't follow what you're going to find on all the guru sites or most of the YouTube channels or anything like that. Here, this just kind of shows a screenshot of one of the accounts, you know, totaling about $300,000 in sales over the course of a little over 2 years. But it shows in the months that it's consistent. You know, it ebbs and flows, but if you follow the model I'm about to teach you, it's relatively consistent and it continues to grow. The number one reason why most people never find success on Amazon. Most fail on Amazon because they try to hit the home run on their first attempt and then they quit after they've wasted all that time and money and energy losing on a product. You know, and by that it means if you find a product and it's really hot right now and you invest a whole bunch of money up front right now, by the time you get it delivered to you from overseas, it may very well be extremely saturated and the price could have been driven down, you know, a fourth of what it was when you first found it, simply because there's more people in that arena now. What do most gurus teach on Amazon? So they usually tell you find a high demand product in a high competitive market with the potential of making you super wealthy off of just that one product. You know, rather than the buckshot approach, they kind of teach you to pick one and go in deep and do whatever it takes to make that one product succeed. Secondly, they try to tell you to communicate with the Chinese suppliers through Alibaba, hoping that you won't get ripped off. You know, a lot of times now Alibaba, and every day it gets worse, but there's a lot of brokers on it. You know, a lot of people don't understand that. They think they're talking directly to the manufacturer, but that's not the case at all. It's actually a third-party broker who's posing to be the manufacturer, and then they take their percentages, or they get extra product from your order and then they end up placing that product on Amazon as well, competing with you. Thirdly, you know, they teach you to spend thousands of dollars on inventory before knowing whether the product will sell. It's definitely not required and it's definitely not suggested on my end. You know, you can test it for significantly cheaper than that. You can do more of the buckshot approach where you have the ability to take your financial capital and stretch it between a handful of products, seeing which one is the alpha player and which one deserves the reorder, rather than just doing it all on one and hoping it works. The gurus also tell you to launch on Amazon with a giveaway trick. That trick is supposed to trick Amazon's algorithm to make it look like people are actually buying your product, but in essence, you just did a giveaway of 100 or 200 products for completely free, which means not only do you lose the money on that product, but you're also losing all the expenses that are occurred with it. That's shipping, the duties, the import, everything, including the cost of the product. So it's a very expensive way to try to jump up to the top. And even then, once you get to the top, it doesn't ensure that you'll stay there. If a competitor comes in after you and does a giveaway themselves, or a larger giveaway, you may be in the position where you have to do a giveaway all over again. And now you're playing this game of, how many products do you have to lose money on before you can start profiting. They also try to tell you to spend a fortune on pay-per-click campaigns and all other sorts of methods to drive traffic to the listing. Again, you're coming out of pocket. If you couple that with the giveaway trick, it could easily add up to thousands of dollars in lost product and lost opportunity very, very quick. Their methods kind of point you towards fighting upstream. They show you the cookie cutter way that people can do it, and you kind of have to remember, the faster the method is, or the easier the method is, or the easier the method is to find, common sense tells you the more people are using it, and the more clouded and murky the waters get because of that. Yeah, your greedy competitors don't do anything to attack your listing. That's what you're hoping happens after you do everything they've taught you to. You're also hoping that someone doesn't stumble across your unicorn product or your lottery ticket and then do the same exact thing that you're doing. And you're also hoping that your product doesn't fizzle out in a couple months, and after all this investment and time, the fad has passed and it's all, a Pyrrhic victory, a victory won at too great of a cost. Because if you end up getting ranked on page 1 after all of that expense, but there's nobody there to buy your product or nobody's searching for it anymore, then it's pretty much useless. So your path to success on Amazon is to learn how to hit singles and doubles in a consistent and repeatable way. That's what I'll be teaching you. The under the radar path is one of the things I like to call it. And it entails exactly this. You find a low competitive product with a relatively high search volume that can generate you at least $1,000 to $2,000 a month each product. Think about it. It's an easy goal. $1,000, $2,000 is not an unbelievable number. But once you obtain that, then the game turns into just replicating and scalability. How fast can you scale it? How fast can you replicate it? How many more products can you get making you $1,000 to $2,000 a month? Because if you can do it with one product, you can very easily do it with 9 more products. Next thing you know, you're getting $10,000 to $20,000 a month. Like I said, the law of scalability. Secondly, I'll teach you how to create a well-optimized listing that will rank you in the first page within a couple days due to low competition. It's not due to some ace up your sleeve. It's not due to dropping thousands of dollars, trying to trick Amazon's algorithms, or giving away free products or anything like that. It's pretty organic. Thirdly, I will show you how to run a low-budget paid advertising that is nearly immediately profitable. It'll never get out of hand. It'll never be one of those things where you look back a couple days later and you've accidentally spent $800, $1,000 on ads. It's very maintained and it's monitored. Fourthly, I will show you how to let the listing make you consistent income month after month without having to constantly watch it or worry about it or be afraid. And lastly, I'll show you the rinse and repeat method. Not putting all of your eggs in one basket. Like I said, the law of scalability applies a lot to this. So it's as simple as doing it once or twice and then getting the feel for it and just wash, rinse, repeat. Why is this model the best model for making money in 2017? Well, finding the low competition products means that you can find the success without having to battle against the guys with giant advertising funds, or the whales or the big fish of the sellers that will simply lose money on advertising or give away products for weeks just to make sure that you don't end up ranking anywhere near them. It also helps you avoid spending a fortune on giveaways or pay-per-click campaigns or it kind of helps you avoid coming out of pocket a significant amount without seeing any sort of return first to solidify doing that. Lastly, like I said there, it helps you avoid risking thousands of dollars on each product. Now, don't get me wrong, if the product is amazing and it surpasses what you thought it would do, then the reorder is when you come back heavy and you order more. But that's only after you have sales that have proven that. You will create a portfolio of Amazon listings generating consistent monthly income by focusing on low competition products that make you $1,000 or $2,000 a month per product. I can't say that enough times. That's really the game. That's the key to this. How to know how to be profitable, how profitable a product will be before spending a penny on the initial inventory, and how to minimize your risk when sourcing potential winners. So the keys to your first order: never trust a single research tool. There's not one Bible for all of this. All of them are keys to the bigger picture. You want to use a handful of different research tools, and I'll go through them with you later on more in depth. But there isn't one quick fix tool for this. And if somebody says they have it, then most likely they're lying to you. You have to use data across multiple sources to validate the data from other sources, because you don't forget, a lot of these tools are estimates. They're not the end-all be-all, and they'll even clearly say it on their site. You have to understand the metrics before placing the order, meaning you have to check the search volume, how many people are looking for it, the demand, the number of competitor listings, how saturated is it already, are there quadruple-digit reviews, is there high-level advertising already being ran on it, what kind of a battle arena are you about to step into, and are you well-equipped enough, and do you have the right arsenal to defend yourself stepping into it. The product sales velocity, how much is something similar selling right now, how much more could you increase that through different listing enhancements and things like that. What's your cost door to door? It's a lot of things, a lot of people trip up in the beginning, especially when they deal with something like Alibaba. They see these ticket window prices and they think that's the price of the product to the door. But what they fail to realize is there's taxes, there's duties, there's freight, there's bonds, there's trucking, there's mailing it into Amazon. There's a whole plethora of costs that go into this. And what I'll teach you in a very, very simple method and a plug and play method is how to know them. How to know exactly what it's going to cost you before it ever hits your door, and how to hold everybody accountable for that number to make sure it doesn't increase. And then the Amazon expenses. In this business, especially when you're launching new ones, you don't have any employees. It's you, your computer, maybe a partner, maybe a consultant, but you don't have any employees on a daily basis. Your main expenses, your main overhead is going to be going towards Amazon and Amazon's fees. But without Amazon, the cookie would crumble. So, a lot of people try to minimize Amazon expenses or try to find ways around them rather than just accepting that that is one of your only main costs and overheads. So instead of avoiding it, I help teach you how to tackle it and know exactly what to expect from them and know whether they're charging you reasonably or not. So when you found your potential winners, you keep your initial order as small as possible. You don't want to source from China. You want to source products that China can't compete with. And I say that because China has been doing business with the U.S. obviously for long enough. And they've been doing this type of business for long enough. And they know what they can get away with, what they can't, and they know what we will do. So one of their main habits is to get the MOQ, the minimum order quantity, as high as possible. That way, even if your product fails on Amazon, they have their money from the 4,000 units or $10,000 that they've convinced you to spend with them. You can't do it. You can't do it, especially for the first run. If you do it, you'll be losing sleep. You want to test it. You want to get the first order as small as possible before you pull the trigger, and before you can confidently and intelligently pull the trigger on something larger. Okay, now that you've been exposed to this new strategy, you really have two options. You can follow the path that countless new Amazons are trying to follow, which is trying to chase a single big winner that will instantly catapult you to the life of riches and the success and all these, you know, guru promises. You could spend a boatload of time and energy launching, ranking, and trying to maintain your rankings while fighting off all these competitors that are coming in and all these vultures that are trying to steal your unicorn product. You can hope and pray that something doesn't go wrong and wipe out your entire investment, I guess is really what it comes down to. Or you can follow the smarter and more predictable path to success that I will teach you, which includes sourcing many profitable, low competition products with a process that is both repeatable and scalable, without constantly looking over your shoulder and without tying up your investment in a single product. How you can work with me: I am not a guru. You're not going to find me flashing my Lamborghini or on Instagram or anything like that, or doing a video from Bali. I spend most of my time working on following my own system. I practice what I preach is pretty much what I do. But once or twice a year, I'll take on a couple of clients and students that'll be a good fit for one-on-one coaching. And that's where I kind of pull back the curtain, as it says here, and take you step by step through my exact system that you can not only repeat, but you can, grow and scale. Travis, one-on-one coaching can be expensive. Why don't you just put out a $1,000 course like everybody else? Well, I'm a private person. I don't like advertising my success and lifestyle on social media, and usually that's the method that these guys do to get this out there. Two, the coaching allows me to kind of work with people directly and take them step by step through the process firsthand. It's got a way higher success rate than following some generic course. In the very beginning, a couple years ago, I tried a few courses and stuff, and it just never pans out, man. You don't have that person that you can call and talk to and ask about a real life problem or a specific problem. You just kind of get the broad, general, frequently asked questions kind of thing. And thirdly, investing in one-on-one coaching shows that you're serious about becoming successful, and those are the exact people I want to surround myself with. I don't want some fly-by-night kind of person who just, they're looking for the quick ticket. You must be hungry to be successful. Like it says here, I can't be a motivational coach. It's just not in me. But what I do get motivated about is money, and I can motivate you about the same thing. You need to be willing to take action quickly so we can get you results fast, because seeing your own progress is the best source of motivation, right? As soon as you can taste your first few dollars of sales in that, then there's no end in sight after that. It creates a hungry shark. You also must be willing to commit to my exact system for 3 months. After that time, you'll have the foundation that you need to go in any direction you want with your Amazon business. But for the first 3 months, I ask that you follow my exact system. Working with me one-on-one means that you get full accountability for 3 months. I work with you one-on-one. I treat it as if it's my own. I take you through every single step. You get scheduled coaching sessions at least twice a week, and that's scheduled. You're more than welcome to contact me more than that, but as far as scheduled sit-down, undivided attention, we'll touch base at least twice a week to make sure that everything's getting done and it's getting done on time. You get direct access to me for any questions. You get a cell phone number. You can text me, email me, call me, Skype me. I'm very, very available for my partners and my clients. And you get full access to the resources, the suppliers, and any other tools that I use in my own daily business. That alone, I can tell you what's a waste of money, what to avoid, what's absolutely crucial, when something is crucial. You don't necessarily have to buy all the tools or all the things right up front in the beginning. You can wait and buy them as they rear their head, as you